You have ones to test drive? Okay. Yeah. I can't do business by myself.
Now, Madam President, Commissioner Hinkle will not be here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I will call the Harrison County Commission meeting for November 13th, 2024 to order. If you will rise and join us in the invocation and pledge, please.
Heavenly Father, you created the universe. And in doing so, you created us. You know our hearts and our minds. You knew when we were going to stand just now, and you know when we're going to sit down. We just praise you and glorify you for all you are. You're an omnipotent God that knows everything about us because you created us. In Jesus' name, we pray for your blessing. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Johnny, if you're in the, I hate to say this, but it's true, closet, and you did the flag, and I've never noticed it before, but thank you. Okay. Get a couple out of the way. Is there anyone signed up to speak publicly?
No, Madam President.
Okay. Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Hearing none. And I don't know if you said before that Commissioner Hinkle is not here today.
Correct.
Just want to get that on the record. I don't know if it was on the record before. Okay, consent agenda. What's the pleasure?
motion approved, please.
Motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 3, payroll changes. We have A through E.
Madam President, I need to make one change on A, just the effective date from November 16th to November 24th. Please.
Motion to approve A through E with the amendment to the county administrator so spoken of.
Okay, motion is to approve payroll change notices A through E with the correction that the administrator mentioned. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 4, minutes and or amended minutes of previous meetings, A and B.
Motion approved A and B.
Motion to approve 4A and B. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 5, requisitions, purchase orders, and invoices. We have A through D. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved A through D. Madam Administrator, is this $90,000 for Greater Harrison that one towards the waste treatment plant in Platteville?
It is actually Thrasher's bill for the waste treatment plant.
Great.
Did you make a motion? Yes, you did. No, you didn't.
A through D.
Okay. And I want, Damien, you asked me about one of these. And yes, the work has been completed. We don't pay any of the ARPA until it's completed, correct?
That is correct. We do a reimbursement on the ARPA funds.
Which is also how we'll do, is that how the other money will go?
That is what we prefer for the opioid.
Opioid, okay.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Exoneration, number 6, exonerations. It looks like corrected tickets, joint applications. We just have A, exonerations. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved A.
Motion to approve exonerations attached to the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 7, consideration of approval of a project fund requisition for the payment of costs associated with the project to be financed from proceeds of the Series 2019 bonds issued for the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District, Series 2021 A and B, Development District Number 3, White Oaks, Project Number 2, and Series 2008 A, Charles Point, Project Number 2, Northland Bay Improvements A through C. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved A through C, please.
Motion to approve 7A through C. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, it is 10:05. We have a nuisance property, Scott Burnside, Bridgeport, the old car wash.
Good morning, I'm Charlotte Schaefer, Planning Director. We've been working on this one for quite a while. They will clean up and then it comes back and it's just a vicious cycle. And so decided just to go ahead and bring them here for a hearing. They have been cleaning up and I'd say it's probably about 80% done, but there's still a few more things that need to be done.
And they got notice of the hearing today. Is that
They
correct?
did.
What violations are they breaking then?
The wood and the trees are fine because that is their business. It's the junk and cars, unlicensed cars and car
Campers.
parts, everything else that they bring in. Washers,
Appliances,
dryers, couches, filing cabinets.
And they've been asked to put those in the bay, the old bays.
They have been asked several times.
But they have done 80% of it.
They have.
How much time do you want to give them to do it? 30 days, 30, 60 days. Give them the first meeting. Yeah. I want to give them to January 2nd to get the rest of it done.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Does that work for you guys?
Oh.
Okay. Hang on with the motion.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to go ahead and allow them to go till January 2nd, 2025 to finish completing what we believe is reasonable for our planning department and staff for the Burnside property.
Motion is to allow, to give them until January 2nd of 2025 to complete the work on the property. Is that good enough?
Yeah, because I'm,
Cleanup.
yeah.
Okay.
It just needs tidy.
It's needed tidy for a long time.
A long time.
A long time. Okay, any further discussion? Or any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, number 8, review, discuss, consider agreement between Harrison County and the opioid fund recipients.
Madam President, this is an agreement, just like we did with the EMS salary enhancement. We had the recipient sign saying that, you know, there is going to be reporting information that we're going to need from them to report to the state. And this is along those lines for the opioid recipients, you know, for them to acknowledge, listen, there will be reporting required, and they agree that they're going to get this money and give us the needed information so we can do the reporting. And it might change during the process, just like ARPA and everything else has changed, but they're willing to help us with whatever we need that is required.
Because it's a work in progress, just like,
Yes.
so they're, because this does state that nothing really has come out yet, right?
Right.
For the First Foundation. For there are some state requirements that are already out, but the First Foundation, which is the foundation that distributed the money to the counties, has not released their full guidance on how everything will be reported or what will be required.
So don't cut any checks until you get that line. And then at the same time, well, this leaves us a paper trail that the public is always welcome to see and can't say we sent any money that was ever given us anywhere it shouldn't go.
Right.
Unlike any other, I won't say it, I don't care. Money disappears. It doesn't here.
And then since we're talking about it, and then it can be a reimbursement type process.
That's why you want it, Michelle. That way it's a paper trail.
However you guys feel it's
It
best.
works once, it can work again.
Yeah.
And not if a penny comes in, we can account for every cent of $13.5 million, right?
Right.
We might as well account for every cent of what'll end up being what, a 1.8?
It's, well, initially it's only gonna be, I think, 901. That was the original amount that we received. There's interest on top of that.
But we'll get a second tranche, right?
Right.
Okay.
Pleasure on that.
A motion to approve agreement between Harrison County Commission and the opioid fund recipients.
Okay, the motion is to approve the MOU with the recipients. Is there any further discussion? And Trey has looked at this, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, it's 10:10. We have a special funding request for the Shinston Turkey Trot 5K, requesting $1,500 for their race that takes place on Thanksgiving Day. You're up.
Good morning. Thank you guys for listening to this little spiel about the Harrison County Rail Trail and the West Fork Rail Trail. So I'm Jason Martin, my wife Tammy Martin over there. We are hosting the Turkey Trot for 2024. For what year it is for a second. So this is a 5K run walk event. It's a great event. It brings a lot of people to our rail trail and uses one of our major assets we have in Shinston. I personally feel that more people's on that trail, it gets used and recognized as an asset to our town. People lives there, people around the area. So it's just a small way of getting people out there, getting active. It's Thanksgiving. It's a fun activity for families to get out and enjoy themselves. This is the 16th year for it. This is the first year Tammy and I took over. Jason and Sarah Toxkin used to run it, but we're taking over this year. We host bike events, so we're pretty well versed in hosting races and things like that. So we're utilizing the Sue Ann Miller Rail Trail ahead there. That's where everything be staged at. Runners go down Route 19 and then they circle back and hit the rail trail back through town. So again, you know, it's a great event. It brings out a lot of people. And if you have any questions about it, any
You
questions?
do have a walk, not a run. You have a walk too.
Yeah, it's a run and
Okay.
walk. So
Okay.
anybody,
There's one-
it's even a kids event. So it starts at 9 o'clock on Thanksgiving morning. At 10 till 9, there's a gobble wobble. So it's for the kids, all under 10 years old. This is a certified track system as well. So it's exactly 5K. So that's a big thing for some runners. Yeah, so if anybody here wants to come out on Thanksgiving morning, you know, you can make some room for some pumpkin pie.
I
you
keep
know?
saying I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, but I haven't done it yet. I
Yeah,
might have.
so, but yeah, that's what we're doing. It's on Thanksgiving morning, so.
It's a black.
Yeah, we have a live DJ there. We have music playing, so it should be a lot of fun. So,
I tried not to.
And make the motion to allocate $1,500 to the turkey trot.
Okay, the motion's been made to allocate $1,500 to the turkey trot. Any further discussion? I thank you two for taking it over and carrying it on. It's great.
yeah, we're
It's great.
blessed to be on it. So thank you very much.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 9, review, discuss, consider reallocating funds from Lake Floyd, $216,848, and Sun Valley, $95,351 to enlarge Hepzibah Service District, Public Service District for use in enlarged Hepzibah Service District Project Number 3, treatment plant upgrades. The Lake Floyd and Sun Valley projects are complete. Remaining funds would be best utilized by enlarged Hepzibah PSD as they continue to move closer toward the merger with Sun Valley.
Do you want to explain this, Trey, a little bit, or Laura? Because this is a big deal. I mean, oh, go ahead, guys. I didn't see you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't see you back
I'm
there.
sorry.
Thanks, stood up.
Kevin Short
concert.
with Sun Valley PSD and a large Hepzibah PSD. And also have Zach Dalton, administrator and most of the projects and kind of oversee from start to finish, all the projects that we've been working on completed. I do want to state that the money that was initially allocated for all these projects, between the team that I have in place with the boards, engineer, administrators and all, we've worked very hard to get competitive bids and also come under budget and get these projects complete. So that's where we're at, to continue to move forward with, aging infrastructure. We took care of a lot in, Lake Floyd. We are now, doing their billing, have give you all an update. We have already had their public meeting with Lake Floyd for the merger. We've had our public meeting in Sun Valley. So next, we'll be coming to you all, for your, public meeting regarding improving that merger with Lake Floyd. Then it will go to PSC. Ball is next on our list, to work towards ending their fiscal year, getting our audits done and getting, the financial data pulled together to get that filed. And there will be some meetings and these projects need to get completed. I'll let, Zach, elaborate a little bit on the process of the merger and the importance of this money for both systems.
Yeah, so what we're doing, Zach Dobbins with Bennett and Dobbins. I work for Lake Floyd for Enlarged Hepzibah and Sun Valley and have been part of the process with their ARPA funds since the beginning. And what we're looking at is during the June 30, 22 year, the commission had allocated $2.5 million to these 3 districts from your ARPA funds. And what we're in the process of doing, the Lake Floyd merger is going to be a little easier than the Enlarged Hepzibah for the simple fact that Lake Floyd has, they've actually sent their money to Charleston to pay off the bonds. So Lake Floyd, when we combine it, merge it into Sun Valley, it will be a debt-free organization. So that'll be a couple hundred extra customers that will be able to add to Sun Valley, which is because of the Harrison County Commission and basically able to do those upgrades. So we're in the process of getting that one finished. The Enlarged Hepzibah will take it'll take a little longer for the simple fact that we have DEP debt, we have USDA debt, and we have IJDC debt. So that's going to be a little more complicated, but we're trying to do one at a time. And the other thing that we're also finishing up on is we have a 3A and a 3B project for Sun Valley. The 3A project is, with our meeting yesterday, was reported about 60% finished. And that's a lot of pump station repairs or pump station revitalization that is being done. And we awarded our 3B project, and we will be closing on it in the next couple of weeks to get it started and hopefully get it finished up soon. So the funds that are left over, the Lake Floyd project is completely finished. So those funds we'd like to move over to Enlarged Hepzibah to do much needed upgrades to the Hepzibah plant and to get some things that I believe that once we merge all 3 districts will allow them to better serve the community, and that we won't have to worry about trying to go out and issue more municipal leases or bonds to get these additional items, which in return will help us to try to keep those rates lower as we go forward. So that's the reason that we're here today.
And one other note, we are in a process of a reissuance permit for Hepzibah's plants. They have 2 plants. One's in Erie, which is right in Hepzibah, the other was in Spelter. Then reissuance permits are for 5 years. We had to have everything submitted by October 1st, which we've done with the DEP. It's in review. They have 6 months. Their permit runs out July 15th of 2025. So between now and April, we're trying to put some stuff into this plant so they'll stay in compliance, and then we'll get our permit reissued from the DEP, and should be good for another 5 years.
And in addition to that, one of the things that Sun Valley, not only are they trying to, take Lake Floyd in and Enlarged Hepzibah, we just submitted an application to the Infrastructure Jobs Development Council for an Indian Run project, which would be all grant funded. And what that would do would be allow us to add 20 more customers, not a significant amount of customers, but what it's doing, those 20 customers all either have contaminated wells or failing wells. So that's another part of the process that we're trying to work on right now.
And this is a lot to do with the drought. it's a long ways. It's about 3.5 miles. This will put us within about a mile and a half of Doddridge County, line, almost down in close to Sedalia. So if they ever need water, that gets us in a position to where, I don't know if you're familiar with Route 23 in Sedalia, that's a long ways down there. So we're coming in, up Indian Run on the backside of Cherry Can. So that's eventually, we would like to finish picking up, people on Cherry Camp, but it's 3.5 miles. Another, this funding is tough to get,
One step at a time.
one step at a time. And, you know, we keep doing little projects at a time, and, you know, we would like to do one big project, but it's a lot easier to get, you know, $1 million, $1.5 million as these projects are coming under bid. And, you know, like we're here trying to move some money around to help take care of a problem with some plants, that the little projects can get done a lot quicker, a lot faster. And makes sense.
Thank you, Bud.
Yes, thank you for all your hard work.
And you know, I love telling you, keep rates lower. And where were we at one time at Hepzibah water loss, and now where are we now? That,
We were
we
at
understand.
62%.
We were losing 62% of our water, and now we're down to what?
18.
18.
And we are still putting in meters. We're about 70% through our meter replacement program. We still are waiting on some of our big meters. That is the biggest challenge right now is supply chain. Some of this, meters are 52 to 55 weeks out. That's gonna be, and a matter of fact, these pumps, I've ordered pumps for the Hepzibah plant, new sludge pumps. They've been on order since June 1st. And they're supposed to ship sometime before Christmas. So the pumps and electrical components are getting longer lead times. And so now's the time to try to get this stuff ordered and committed to come into our area, our county. And we're competing with a lot of other projects across the state. I mean, you're talking the state of West Virginia, there's been a lot of projects awarded, and they're gonna be starting, so we're trying to get out in front and try to get our share of pump supplies, stuff that we need to get these projects done.
Hey, guys. Motion to approve and discuss and consider the allocation of Lake Floyd $216,848 to Sun Valley 95,351, please.
Can we just clarify that a second? We're reallocating funds from Lake Floyd in the amount of 216,848 and Sun Valley, which is 95,351, and we'll take those funds and give it to enlarged Hepzibah.
Okay. Make sure the motion has been made to allocate a total of $216,848. No, wait a minute. Wait, let me finish.
I am.
$848. 95,351 of that goes to Sun Valley. And and the rest of it goes to, where's it at? It's there somewhere, isn't it? No, it's not.
May I clarify just 1 second? So
I think this whole thing, now that I look at it.
so the 216,848 were taken away from Lake Floyd and given to enlarged Hepzibah. And 95,351 were taken away from Sun Valley.
Okay, there's no two. I see what we got. We're missing the two. Sun
The
Valley.
95,351. So both of those different numbers are all going to enlarged Hepzibah.
Okay,
because of those
okay.
projects.
Okay, I don't even know if I'm gonna try to do that again, but 216,848 is going to Sun Valley and 95,351 is going to enlarge Hepzibah, correct? No,
They're all going to enlarge Hepzibah.
sorry.
We're
You
looking
all
at-
Probably think I'm a complete,
The excess from the Lake
That's okay.
Floyd project is 216,848. That would be going to enlarged Hepzibah.
and the
and then-
95.3, one's coming from Lake Floyd and one's coming, I got it now. Thank you,
Exactly.
Zach. I appreciate it. Somebody's got to set me straight. Okay, sorry. Now I've embarrassed myself. Not really. I don't care. It is what it is. Okay. Any further discussion? Any more clarification for me? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Can we just do a letter for our internal files, which we send to each of the impacted entities because they are ARPA funds? And that way staff, we just have a formal document outside the minutes, just in case there's ever a question of the reallocation. of
Yeah, that was
funds.
gonna be my question. It's okay to do what we're doing here.
It is, but I just think we should have a documented letter as well, and there may already be a request, but just something in case ARPA ever comes back, and Michelle's shaking her head yes, and asks a question about the funds. But
I think that'd be a great idea because that would also help the organizations when we're going through their annual audits. When the auditors are saying, hey, you were allocated this much, what happened to the balance? If we just get copies of those letters too, and then that would help us finish up the audits for those folks.
It can be a letter like whenever we sent out saying, hey, commission allocated you this amount of money, right?
Yeah.
We'll take care of it.
Perfect.
Number 10, review, discuss, consider declaring the following properties as an emergency nuisance within the framework of the International Property Maintenance Code ordinance so that emergency measures abatement can be commenced. We have A, 25 Chestnut Street Enterprise, B, 280 Midway Road, Jane Lou, C, 316 Midway Road, Jane Lou, D, 3044 Wilsonburg Road, Clarksburg. And the Jane Lou properties are in Harrison County. I just want to make sure that's out there.
Yes, they are. These houses are part of the next group that I submitted to the DEP. I submitted 15 more houses and was approved. I was told from the DEP if I can get as many houses in by December 31st, they will probably approve them. So we're trying to push as many as we can through. These 4 houses are either burnt or they are collapsed.
It's one of my happiest days of my commission. I'm so happy. You tear everything down.
What's, do we have some coming up on another list? Or is this the end of it for this year? Okay, because I drove through some
If you
part
have
last night.
more, let us know.
Sorry, I hate to keep bringing that up, but
So there's another, I believe, 10 houses that the bids are actually due today.
Yes, the bids are due on 13 houses
On
today.
13 houses. So then those will be next to be torn down. And then she submitted another 15 houses for a total of $140,000 to add to our original total of 413,000 that we've gotten. So we keep adding and tearing down more houses.
Never happy.
I know, I know.
Motion to approve A through D.
Motion to approve number 10, A through D. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
And just for the record, there was no one in the hallway when I checked to see if anyone was present.
Number 11, review, discuss, consider access and remediation letter agreement for the following. A, Mike Harris, 160 Mount Clair Road. B, Francis Huntermark, Tate 911 Gypsy Hollow Road, Gypsy. C, William and Michelle Strother, 724 Miners Way, Shinston. D, Susan Moore's 1378 Wilsonburg Road, Clarksburg. And E, Charles Trent, 888 Gypsy Hollow Road, Gypsy.
These are part of the new list. These owners have agreed to let us tear them down. And we just need the access and remediation letters approved by you guys.
Quick one, gas. Motion to approve A through D. E.
Motion to approve number 11, A through E. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much.
Yes. Number 12, review, discuss, consider budget revisions for the prosecuting attorney.
Weekly. Motion to approve our budget revision for us.
Motion to approve budget revisions for prosecuting attorney. Is there any discussion? They've been reviewed and I mean, I just can't see it.
Yes, they've been reviewed.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 13, review, discuss, consider letter to West Virginia Department of Economic Development Office in regards to eligibility for industrial access road grant.
Gina.
Madam President, if it's okay with you and the commission, I would like to defer to Mr. Allott and Mr. Long, mainly because they have been in direct contact with the Department of Highways and Department of Development Authority or Development Office in Charleston. So they're better knowledgeable on this letter.
Flip a coin for both of you. You don't know.
For you guys.
Okay, how about yourself, Sean?
Pretty good.
Good.
So I'll say my part being short and sweet. I just want to thank you guys for your continued support that we did come back here several months ago and you all had given us your permission to use the industrial access road to work with Gina to get the grant going. And Mr. Bellotti, as a consultant for the airport, has been working through that and I will turn it over.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you all. You have, I'm assuming you have a copy of the letter in front of you that we'd like to submit, Mr. Hooker.
Mhm.
And that basically, I mean, I could go through that explanation again if you'd like for me to, but just to summarize it, this is actually a prelude to a formal application using the industrial access road funds. And this is based on some past conversations that I've had with the state highway engineer and a few other representatives of Charleston. And they were the one that brought it to my attention to actually seek the use of these funds. And so I'll continue to stay on that topic. And so we're at the point right now where we're gonna submit this request, I guess, to ask if our project would fit into that category of those funds. So, and then we're at the mercy of a response.
Now, this is the way I understood when I asked you about it, Gina. They already, they've already been approved, but we're changing course. Is that right? Of course, I've shown my confusion this morning. So.
Well, that's okay. We did approve the resolution. At that time, we were going to do the road inside the park, the Industrial Access Park Road. Since Mr. Bellotti has talked to the folks at Charleston, that kind of has flip-flopped, and instead of the road, they suggested that they use it for the intersection part, which is where to make the entrance safer by putting a light and extra lanes for the entrance and the outgoing traffic for that area.
That's
So
going into the new term.
That's going into the new terminal. This letter is just for the state, asking them if we could do this project. Do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. So this letter is just to let them know what they want to do with this funds as per the direction of the Department of Highways with Mr. Bellot. And they will review that and decide if the project itself would be eligible for industrial access road funds. So this is kind of a pre-step before the actual application process.
As long as it comes off of the state road, it's eligible.
Well, and that was my question, is like, if the state road's got to do it, why don't they just do it,
Yeah.
period, without all of this? So, and it may come down to that. I don't know, but this is what they ask us to do. So this is what we're doing. We're just following protocol on their part.
We'll do. I mean,
Yeah.
of course we will.
And this was that was the initial conversation that I had based on some past traffic counts and contracts that the airport had entered into with other entities. And so my conversation was with the DOH, with my past experience with the city of Clarksburg, is, you know, it's your road. It's a concern. And we'd like to get that process started. And that's where they told me, well, we think maybe you ought to reach out for the IAL or IAR funds first. I said, okay, but we don't want to waste time with all that. So that's where this prelude letter came in place.
I'll make the motion to move forward and proceed.
Fix the project signature. Yeah. Okay, motion's been made to move forward in support of this, I guess I'm gonna call it project. And to fix the appropriate signature. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, number 14, administrators report.
So I just have two things. One, I can't speak enough good things about Charlotte Schaefer, the Director of Planning, and her team getting all this money from the DEP to tear down houses. I mean, it was very exciting on Friday, at least for me, that she submitted an application with 15 houses that morning, and that afternoon we were approved. So overall from the DEP, our number has grown to $553,500 to put towards tearing down houses in Harrison County. And that's just fabulous. The other thing that I have is currently we have a cleanup going on in Harrison County that you can, Harrison County residents can drop off your old tires at the Harrison County Recreation Complex over 43 Recreation Drive. That tire collection went on Monday or the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. So today and tomorrow are the last days. I know the first day that we had it out there, we almost filled up a whole trailer with tires. We really appreciate Kelly Cook with the DEP helping coordinate this to have the tractor trailers out there to try to clean up things in Harrison County. That's all I have.
We did the canvas yesterday. I want to thank the clerk and his staff for making it a seamless effort. I mean, I shouldn't say effort. They spent a lot of time. They had a lot of effort into this, but the canvas went very well. I felt very organized, and I just want to say kudos to them. That was Mr. Treecost and I were there at the canvas yesterday.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, motion to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.